What's going on, Vigilante World? It's your guy, SPEC, and we are back with another video. First things first, I want to give a shout out to all my viewers, subscribers, and Patreon supporters for making this a home to catch some content before you make a purchase. Much gratitude to BCA for sponsoring the channel, allowing me to feed my firearms to bring you content. Be sure to click on the link in the description, use this channel code to rack up some rounds. Today, I'm bringing you another episode of 75 Live. In today's video, I'll be going over the CZC Accu Shadow 2 Compact Single Action Only. Now, what's cool is that I'm only able to present this gun because I actually made this gun happen, thus the signature green accents. And if you've been following the channel, you know exactly what that means. The gun is truly everything you need in a hero carry gun mixed into a CZ, and it's just awesome. Now, I might seem a bit biased, but as you know, I'm only here to keep it real, so let's get into it.
All right, Vigilante World, let's get into what you get out of the CZ Accu Shadow 2 Compact Single Action Only, aka the Green Hornet, aka the Skip Pack, aka the best gun ever, aka the one. Now, real quick, safety check. Now, right at the top, the best thing about this gun is that it does come optic ready. Now, as you see, it does come with some solid fiber optic sights. Now, the original sight that you're gonna get with it is gonna be green. I opted to go with the red one just because red just pops a little bit better for me. And it's a nice little complement to the green since green is my favorite color. We don't have way too much green, but definitely not too much green for me. Regardless, both of them work well. As you can see, it still has that black serrated rear. So even if you do have the green one or the red one, you will be able to pick it up super easy. You won't have to worry about any type of glare or anything like that. It does not come with an optic plate or anything like that. You will have to buy the optic plate. Thankfully, I have an optic plate, so I really don't have to worry about scavenging for one, but you will have to go and pick one up if you want one to actually mount to your gun. So just keep that in mind. Now, the gun still has that top serration, which is absolutely amazing. I love any gun that actually has that top serration. Definitely when it's tri-top, it just looks absolutely amazing. And then of course that slide has that beautiful nitride finish, so you know for a fact it is gonna pop in the right light. Definitely for a black, it looks really, really good. Cannot complain about that. It's the same consistency that you get in the traditional Shadow 2. As well as the modern serrations that you get on the front and rear of the slide, you know for a fact you can have a nice grip on the slide to make sure you can run some rounds. Now, since this is a compact gun, you're still going to get a solid 4-inch barrel on the gun, but one thing about the overall Accu system is that you get so much more precision whenever you start really dealing with the muzzle and everything like that. And so as you can see, I have this beautiful crown with the Accu bushing installation, and this is a custom guide rod because the guide rod that comes with the CZ Shadow 2 will not work the same with this recoil capture. So this is more of a traditional PO1 or 75 recoil spring, as to which the ones that typically come with it is more modern in resemblance to that P10C recoil spring in the PO7. So that's the one thing that's about that. This one is going to be an uncaptured recoil spring. So if you see, this is an uncaptured recoil spring, and the new ones are going to be captured. So just keep that in mind whenever you're actually looking into this pistol. This is just a couple of the differences that you're going to get out of this pistol and the original Shadow 2 Compact. But this does aid in so much more consistency when it comes to your shot. Now, as we get on down to the frame, you do still have those amazing accessory notches, and you can put pretty much whatever light on it. I'll figure out which light I want to run later. As a matter of fact, whatever light that you think I should run, drop it down in the comments. One thing that's amazing about the update of this pistol in general is the texture. The fact that you get the back strap and front strap checkering, that is very nice, very aggressive for you to hold onto the gun, and not as minimal as say like the PO1 or even like the PO7 or something like that. Those are very like carry worthy grip textures. As to this one is definitely a mixture of that competition and carry. You still get your trigger guard serrations as well as a nice squared off trigger guard with a super solid undercut for you to really get into this gun, choke up on it, and make sure you have a super solid purchase. So that's kind of the best thing about the overall texture with this gun anyways. As I said before, CZ went ahead and upgraded the grip on the overall CZ Shadow 2 Compact model. Specifically, this does not have that traditional PO1 grip. As you can see, this is my CZ PO1. The grips are just a bit different. I just want to make sure that people understand that this grip does not pay homage to the 75 model. But as you can see, this has a very hard curve on the back of it to where when you put it in your hands, it really feels like it sits in the palm of your hand. This little curve right here, it sits right there super perfect. Not that this one doesn't. It's just a difference, right? It more snaps right there, but it doesn't have this super deep curve that allows your hand to be pushed out any further. It just allows you to really get into the gun. So that's one thing about this, about the CZ Shadow 2 Compact grip anyways. You're gonna have that amazing texture, that amazing grip. And since you have those updates, it does give you a bit of a better grip angle. So let me get this out the way. As you can see, I have this PO7 here.
Save!
And so as you can see here, that grip, so much more similar. And this is what I mean about more of a homage to the PO7. As you can see, that PO7 has that super flat backstrap, which is reminiscent in the overall CZ Shadow 2 Compact. On the actual Shadow 2 Compact, you have a full grip. So that's kind of the main thing. It's not a full size grip or a full length grip. It's just a full compact grip. So you actually don't have to worry about the little cutout. So that's one thing I just want to bring to attention to some folks so they can understand the overall texture, grip, and ergonomics of the CZ Accu Shadow 2 Compact. Let me get this out the way. Now, real quick, some of the things that are going to be consistent regardless if you have a Shadow 2 or an Accu Shadow 2 is definitely going to end up being the overall capacity, because this thing is still going to come with 15 rounds. So super nice. Even the flared magwell that you actually get on the main frame is going to be the same. Also, your skeletonized hammer is going to be exactly the same. Your sights are going to be exactly the same. But the main thing that's going to be the difference are these internals. So let's dive into that. So whenever you're dealing with the CZ Accu Shadow 2 Compacts, not only are you getting all of this texture, not only are you getting all these updates in the overall grip, in the grip angle and things like that, you're getting so much more in the muzzle. You're getting so much more in the overall functionality of the gun, and even the trigger. Now, of course, as you know, this is a single action only trigger, and so I want to show you exactly what you get and why this is so much better than a lot of triggers that are out there. A lot of people go on these hunts to have guns that are as close to a 1911 as possible, but honestly think this is the closest gun that you can get to a 1911, 2011 without having that exact trigger. But this trigger, I'm telling you, is an amazing update to anybody's gun. Definitely from the traditional combat or old style trigger, this is going to be the one that you're going to want if you want to have something much, much closer to a 2011. Let me show you. So as you can see, this is your take up. Crazy, right? Super short, super short. But once you get to take up, you're right at the wall. Bang. Super nuts. Right slide, reset, right back at the wall. Okay, it was just a tad take up, but this is a rolling break. So one more time. Boom. Absolutely amazing. It's just a super sweet trigger that you get out of this gun. It's just a fact of the matter that this thing will be better than your traditional double action single action trigger. Now, if you're looking into a double action single action gun and that's your style that you enjoy, run the double action single action, because you're going to get what you want out of the safety in the double action. But if you want a fast gun, if you want to actually have something that's updated to be super crispy, super accurate, fast, and can potentially be safe, this is what you want to do, because absolutely amazing. The trigger is literally only probably about 2.5 pounds. It is not that light at all. But the best part about it is the break is just so sweet, because again, look at that. You're right at that wall. And then you just let it go. It's ridiculous how absolutely nice this is. And you guys will be able to see how it actually performs when we get off the map. Let's get off the map. Let's talk about it.
Back to it. So as you've seen, the specs on this gun are absolutely fire. Everything that this gun has to offer is really just sweet. Black nitride finish coupled with that stainless steel Accu bushing is just so beautiful, I'm telling you. And the machining is just spectacular. Since you get those modern slide cuts, you know it's still functional, so it's a beast of a gun right from the top. Now, I love that traditionally you get that front and back strap texturing, which just makes the gun super sweet to hold on to. But in addition to that, having those bogey lock grips just makes it so sweet in the hand to be able to hold on to and know for a fact you can have a nice purchase and keep your aim right on point. That being said, with that updated grip angle, the gun points super well. As is, I'm telling you, whenever you draw this gun, it kind of points more like a PO7, which feels a little bit different in the hand because it has a flatter back strap. And so whenever you're purchasing the gun, your hand sinks into the overall grip of the gun just a little bit more than some of your average CZ75 models. But I'm telling you, it just allows the gun to point super well whenever you're actually drawing the gun and trying to acquire the sights. And truly, I would say it feels most like a 2011 if I had to compare it to anything in terms of how it points. Now, having the alloy frame mixed with the updated recoil spring that is more similar to a, I would say, CZ Accu Shadow 2 recoil guide rod, but also like a regular PO1 guide rod. It's kind of a mixture of the two, but having that really helps add to the overall recoil mitigation, and knowing for a fact, again, you can just keep the shots right on point. In terms of performance, since the sight acquisition is so easy with this gun and it does point super well, it's so easy to have some really great self-defense shots. I mean, easily at 10 yards, I had one of the easiest alpha groups that I could probably even shoot with another gun that's right out of the box. Definitely mixed with that trigger, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, it ends up making it so sweet to just be able to hit a target. Now, even at long distance, the gun is very consistent to the traditional CZ Shadow 2 compact, in which you can send the target back and know for a fact you can hit most of 10 shots, if not all of them. Now, of course, later, we're gonna see what an optic looks like on this thing, so we can see just how pinpoint this thing can actually get. But being freshly machined, I just had to go out and have some fun and see how it shot. Now, that trigger is just too fun. I'm telling you, single action only on a Shadow 2, very comparable to a 2011 trigger. It is very little difference in what you're going to overall experience in shooting the 2, but let me tell you, it really makes a difference for the Accu Shadow 2 compact. Now, it's very minimal perceived recoil to where you're really just kind of shooting the gun and having some fun. You're not really worried about it being like over kicky or anything like that, because at the end of the day, it's not too small. It's actually just the right size. And again, having all the balance that's made into this gun, not only that, having all of the right tuning to the gun really adds to the overall handling, in which you're not worried about just not being able to maintain a shot. Double taps were just too silly to play with once I did get into them, and I'm telling you, it's just a fun gun with it being single action only. You can't get no better than just having that super nice and sweet trigger, just allowing you to be able to kind of double back on any of those shots. That, of course, is a byproduct that rolls right into rapid fire, and so if you're ever magged up in this thing, I know for a fact you can really roll through some shots and keep it right on point, and know for a fact, again, you can hit a target and not have to worry about anything else. Even with it having a compact size, it truly does shoot and sit like a bigger gun, and that's one thing I definitely appreciate out of the Accu Shadow 2 compact single action only. Running any type of mag swaps with this gun was just super fun, because at the end of the day, the gun still has a bit of flared mag well on the overall base of the grip, and so you can still feed mags super easy. Now, I've shot probably about 250 rounds through it so far, and I haven't had any failures or anything like that. I'm definitely going to go take it out with an optic and see how this thing runs, and I promise you, I will keep it real on what the reliability is on this gun. I know some people have a thing with the overall single action trigger, and not only that, with the single action being too sweet or not sweet enough on the Shadow 2. But one thing that I can say is that the gun still offers plenty of options to be safe if you really need. And the thing is, as long as you train with the gun, you know for a fact you can figure out which way works for you. Now, there is no market price on this gun because, again, I was able to make this happen. But if you do have a traditional CZ Shadow 2 compact and you would like to get something like this done, you can definitely make it happen. Everything about this gun is absolutely worth it, and I cannot complain. Literally, from the gun being optic ready all the way down to the trigger being super sweet, you just know for a fact you can run with this gun and it's gonna sit, it's gonna shoot exactly like you like. And again, I'm excited to bring you guys what it's gonna look like whenever we just throw an optic on it and just kind of do a little loadout and see how it really does through some trials. Up to this point, everything about this gun is absolutely worth it. So if you did like this video, definitely make sure you smash that like button. If you have any comments or anything like that, definitely make sure you drop those right down below. I would like to see what you guys think about the Accu Shadow 2 compact and it having single action only versus the traditional, you know, kind of double action single action, which is super sweet, but also how you guys kind of think about the overall aesthetics of the gun versus the traditional, or maybe even what you guys desire better. Definitely make sure you subscribe. I got mad more content coming for y'all. Other than that, all I gotta say is stay safe, get some ammo. Till next time, y'all.